in London with Bob. What's your opinion?
Frankly, as far as protecting Australia goes, Churchill's assurances aren't worth the air used to utter them. They're barely managing to defend themselves.
How do you rate things in Singapore? Did you get a good look on the way back?
Nothing's improved. The British have completely ignored all our requests. No additional ships or aircraft, and the caliber of their commanders there is second-rate, to say the least.
So without the Americans, we'd be on our own.
And we're not making much headway with Washington.
Singapore's intended to defend India and Burma, not Australia. In tactical terms, Singapore's about as much use for the immediate defence of Australia as Gibraltar would be for the defence of New York.
General Sturdy, we've got an entire division of our troops stationed in Singapore.
Yes, sir. 8th Division. Bearing in mind they're newly trained and untested.
Are you also telling me, General, that these troops are in the wrong place?
Not if we're talking about defending the British Commonwealth, but you're asking me about the defence of this country, right now. In that event, our division in Singapore will be no more use to us than our 3 divisions in the Middle East.
General, you realise that the whole foundation of our discussion with Britain is the assurance that Singapore is the stronghold for the defence of the South Pacific?
No, sir. The Far East.
So unless Singapore is heavily reinforced, we run the full risk of being caught beyond all help.
If Singapore were to fall, Britain's assumption is that the South Pacific will inevitably be forfeit.
Right, well, what I think he's trying to tell us, Fred, is that we have been sold a pup.
Chosen a new leader. Warmest Kinheki Tojo. Bluntly expressed, Britain's sharp opinions are anything but moderate. More important is the fact that General Tojo's great hates, the United States, Great Britain, Russia, are also the Japanese Army's hates. And his will, the Army's will. In his address to Congress, President Roosevelt said, Japan has turned a corner in her history. We may well be seeing the end of her effort to compromise with destiny.
It's imperative we get this new government to clarify their policy on expansion.
I will try. But that may not be easy now.
That's all right. But I accept a line that limits their advance southward. Will they be prepared to negotiate a formal agreement on this?
And what would I have to offer them, John? Would you be prepared to withdraw your soldiers from Singapore?